Hi, we are learning how we can send Gmail SMTP email using PHPMailer. In previous part I have shown you how it works, how you can add your attachment, right, and how you can make your email templates. And if you have already made a HTML code template, right, so you can just copy of your HTML, right, let's copy and paste it here, and you can type your subject name, right, and email. Let's see a demo one more time. So the subject, so my subject is here, right, and here you can also attach any file, right, so I'm attaching this install Android Studio, right, and let's open it. So before to click a send button, so I'll show you my email inbox. Right now it's empty, right? So when we send, right, so page, you can see it's sending. So now message send. So let's check our email inbox. So here is our message. So you can click my subject and you can see, right, so this is the message, and here is your attachment. So when you click on a download, so it's working fine, right, you can see it's a downloaded and there is a no any error message. So today's part is for writing a code, right, to build this awesome thing, right. So for this with viewing editor I will use this rich text, right, we will understand step by steps, right, and we also understand a PHPMailer, and we build these things, right. So let's create a project and build these things, right. Go to C drive, go to XAMPP, and here is the htdoc, right, and I will create my project it here, right. So let's create a new project, new, right, and this is the PHP project, just next, right, and my project name send mail, right, and just finish it. So this project automatically will be in our htdoc. You can see send mail, and here is a one file which is index.php. so you can just drag this file in your code editor, right. So let's remove the comment, right. So that's pretty good. HTML is here, head tag and body tag, right. So it's a normal HTML, right, nothing it has. So let's create first this form, right. Let's create this form which is a email message and the subject, right. So here I want to create a form, or form form, and form its action is nothing because we want to get in the same page, right, and method is post, and div, and div should be close, right, and here is input type email, input type email, and the name is email, right, and give it a class, right, form control, right. So this class is for bootstrap 4, right. So let's run our project first and add a bootstrap as well in our template, so exactly it will look like, right. So let's run localhost, right, and here is our uh, project. So send a mail, right, and here is our input type email uh, form, and put it a placeholder, type your email, right. So let's type type, type sender email, receiver email, right, type email, right, you can type anything. So let's add a bootstrap, right. So also have a add a bootstrap 4, right, when I send it here, it's a nice pop-up box is here. When I click, you can see fill out this field. So this is a bootstrap 4, so also we will use it here, right? So bootstrap 4, and let's click on first link, and here you need to get started, right? And here is the link which we need to copy and paste in a head section, right? And add a title which is PHP mailer, right? So CSS we have a link, and there's 3 files of the JS bootstrap. So let's copy and paste it here, right? So now we have added these fields, right? And now let's refresh your browser of our project, right? So it's look different, right? So let's wrap this div, right? And wrap in a div and give it a class of div which is a container, right? Control S for save and refresh. So now it's looking perfect, right? And here you can give any h1 h2 anything you can give, right? smtp email, smtp email, right? Email. So this is a form control class, form control, okay, form group, sorry, group, form group. Let's copy, and this is for subject, right? So at this time it's a text, right? And this is form group is nice, and name is a subject, right? And the class is same, and placeholder is type your subject, right? So it's pretty good. So let's refresh your browser and see, right? Email, subject, and one more thing, we want to do this text area, right? So for that we need to add, write it here. Okay, just copy and paste so we can save our time, right? Div and paste it here, and here is input text area, right? And text area should be closed, and give it a name which is msg, right? Message, and id, give it id msg, right? So it's pretty good, right? So let's refresh and see how it looks. So it's looking nice. So we need to give a placeholder which is a message of your email, right? So it's look like, but it's not look like this, right? Has some links of add bullets, underline, italic, right? And those are the links which we need to add for the video, for the images. So I will use the plugin for this, which is this rich text, right? So I will give you a link in a video description, so you can come here and download it, right? So you need to go src, right, in a rich text to build this viewing editor, right? So for that we need to go as rich text and go to src, and here is the 2 files we need to download, which is rich text min.js. Just click here and you can see a raw, right? And here is the css files. So we need to right click and save it here, right? Let's save. Actually this is the js file, sorry for that. So it's downloaded, and now we need to one more file which is rich text min.css, right? So here it is. So let's click it here and raw, and here is the css files. So let's download this one as well. So let's copy this rich text, right? And just go to in our project, which is the send mail, right? And here we need to create our folder which is vendor, right? Vendor, right? And here we need to create a new folder, right? And paste the rich text, right? And here we need to there's two files which we have downloaded, which is here, right? Those are the files. Just copy and just go in our project and we need to paste, right? So there's two files we need to include, right? So here is the vendor, right? And here is the rich text, and there are the two files, right? Mean.js, rich text mean.js, and this is the css file. So here we need to add this two files. So js file you need to include it here, right? So you can put script src vendor rich text jquery rich text mean.js, right? So always we do add js file like this, right? So next thing is we need to add our rich text mean.css file, right? So you can see href, and here is the file path, which is rich text.mean.css, and its type is style sheet, right? So let's run this project and see what happened. So let's go back, right? So here is our project. So it's nothing happened, right? So let's go back, right? And let's go back, right? And here is the simplest way to add a rich text. So when you just copy these, right? And you need to just bottom of here, and we need to add our own script, right? And here is the script text should be closed, right? And we need to add our document jQuery, right? Document dot ready, right? And ready function, right? And this is the function to make a ready of our JavaScript, and you need to paste, which we have a copy from GitHub, and here is our selector. So just $sign in double quotation, right? And here is our id, which of text area. So we need to msg, right? So copy, right? Name as well, msg, right? So simple. And you need to, because this is id, so we need to hash sign and paste it. And when we refresh our project, it we expecting like this, right? So it's still not look like this, because this is the font awesome icon. So we need to add a font awesome, right? So font awesome cdn, right? And you can download it here, font awesome cdn. Just click on first link, right? And here I think this is the font awesome 4, right? So we need to font awesome 3. You can get from here, right? So here is the link of font awesome, and we need to paste this font awesome in our project. So let's paste it here, Control S for save, and let's refresh our project. So it's look pretty good, right? So it's exactly look like these, right? So let's close bootstrap, let's close this one, right? Let's close this one, right? Right. So now we need to add a this choose a file and send a button, right? So now what we will do for that, we need to add a form group also. It here this form group, and form group should be closed, right? And let's enter, and here we will add our input type file, right? And give it any name, right? And name should be my attachment, attach me, right? So it's good. And we need to add one more button, which is send button, right? So div, right? And div should be closed, and here we will add a class which is form group, right? Form group, and here we will add our button, right? Input type button, submit actually. And you can give class a bootstrap, right? So btn and btn primary, right? So let's refresh and see how it looks, right? So here is our project and you can see, so this is the submit, so we want to send and we want it here like this, right? So give it one more class, right? So which is plot right, RIGHT, right? Plot right, and make it a clear fix. For that, a div and style and clear both, right? So control S and let's refresh. Actually this is not our project, this one, right? So you can see, right? So let's replace the name to a value is send now, right? So control S and let's see, right? So it's pretty good. So we need to add our own CSS it here, right? So here is the vendor, right? And here is control shift N and me, right? And you can give any name, and here I will create my own CSS, right? So here is the vendor, me, right click and Java CSS file, and I am giving it style.css, right? So let's finish it, right? So let's remove the comments, right? So in a me you can see style.css is here. So let's add this file in our HTML in our project, right? So this is my file which I have added style.css and related to a style side sheet. So let's style this to make a beautiful of our form, right? So let's body and body we want to a background. You can give it any background, right? So I'm choosing this background, right? This color you can choose any color. This is the hexadecimal code, right? And it has a container which is this one, right? So let's enter and paste it here, and it's a background. We want to a background is a white color of our all container, and it's a padding all the sides we want to a 30 pixel, right? So let's control S for save and let's refresh, right? So it's look pretty good, right? It's not look like this because it has a different background and it has a different background, right? So let's understand actually UI user interface we have done. Actually it's showing it here, right? But we want to here, right? So for that, where it is input type file, okay, which is this one, right? So let's copy and paste it here, and this is we have copy, control S and refresh, right? So user interface now we have done. So we will understand PHPMailer, right? So what we will do that, so you need to go PHPMailer like this. Let's close it and type it Google and type it PHPMailer, and you need to click first link, right? And here is the command to install this PHPMailer, right? So you need to install a composer, right? If you don't know, you click it here on a composer, and here you just download, and here is the exe file, right? Exe file, you need to click it here and it will download it, right? So let's click it here and you can see when it's downloaded you need to next, right? Simply you need to install this, and after that just go back in our PHPMailer, right? It here is it here, right? So this is the PHPMailer composer command. You need to copy, right? Just copy and go to our project, right? So here is our project, send mail, and you need to hold the shift key of your keyboard and right click, right, and open command window it here, right? And you need to paste that command which we have copied from here and then enter. So it will take a time after 2 to 3 minutes, depend on your internet speed. So please wait. Right, so PHPMailer has installed in our project, right? So if you see autoload file generated, right? So it means all the files and folders has generated automatically, right? Composer.log, composer.json, and here is the vendor, right? So this is the me is my own vendor, and the this text is the rich text vendor, and PHPMailer which we have downloaded through composer, right? So it's pretty easy. So let's include these things in our project, right? So let's go in our project, right? So here we will write our PHP code, right? PHP, and PHP should be closed, and here we will include use PHP mailer, right? And PHP mailer has also a PHP mailer, right? And PHP mailer and a semicolon, right? And we need to include our autoload.php, right? So vendor and autoload.php, right? So what it says, okay, it's not showing any type of error, right? So you need to include a PHP mailer. I will show you in a minute, right? So let's see. So this is the vendor, right? And here is the PHP mailer, and here is PHP mailer, right? And all the things, and here is the class which is the PHP src, I think. And okay, this is the class PHP mailer, right? So which we have included this class in our project it here, and we have included this autoload.php here. This file in our project is here, autoload.php, right? So next thing what we will do to send an email, right? So let's grab this fields, right? Email, subject, message, files, right? So let's grab this field in PHP, right? So what we will do for that, right? So if, right, if is set dollar underscore post email, right? Dollar underscore post email, right? So if it is set means you are typing something it here, right? It's not mean it's empty, right? So if it is set, we will do a something, right? So we will create an object of our PHP mailer, right? So mail is a new PHP mailer, right? And the next thing is $mail, which is this mail. We will call some property of this, some property and functions of this class, which is PHP mailer, right? So PHP mailer we want to send using SMTP, so let's call is SMTP, which is this one, right? So next thing is debugging mode, right? So this is the mail, right? And debug, smtp debug, which is this one, right? So it has a three type the value, right? If you will set a 0, it means you are in a development, right? And if you set a 1, it means in a production, right? So always you need to put 1 if your site in a live server, right? Otherwise put a 0, right, for security. So next thing is the SMTP host, right? So mail SMTP host, right? So host, and host we want to use a SMTP. We host a Gmail host, right? So smtp@gmail.com. So this is our host, right? So let's semicolon, right? So scroll down and let's add some more property, right? So $mail, right? So $mail, and let's call a port number, right? So port number we always use 587, right? host is smtp.gmail.com and port is 587, right? So we want to secure this functionality using TLS, right? So smtp secure, which is this one, and secure we want to TLS, right? So semicolon, right? And authentication for the our Gmail account, right? For smtp we want to add a mail, right? And authentication, smtp authentication, which is this one, and we want this as a true, right? So next thing what we want to do, that with that we need we need a username and password of our smtp, of our Gmail account, and of our email id, email accounts, username and password, right? So mail, right? And username, username, right? Here we will type our username, right? Wait, I will show you in a minute. And the mail, right? And mail is and at this time is a password, mail and the password, right? So what we will do next, right? So here we will type our email, which is my email is here, gmail.com, right? And here I will type my password, right? So I will show you in a minute, right? So let's wait, I will type my password it here, right? And we will test it here, right? So the next thing is add some property, right? Who is the sender and who is the receiver, right? So just call some methods of the PHPMailer, right? So mail and set from, right? Set from, right? So this is the address we will want to add. So I am sending from this, so this is the sender, right? I think my email id is this, right? And here is the sender name, right? So second parameter is the sender name. So learn a code by sorry learn a code by Krishna Rathor, right? And put it semicolon, right? And you can also add some more functions, which is add a reply, right? Add a reply, add reply to, so you can put your reply address. So you can also reply to my same email id, which is this one, and let's paste it, right? And semicolon, and you can reply as well it here, right? And second parameter, you can reply, right? And right, so that's pretty good, right? So next thing, address, right? So this is receiver's email address, we will put it here. So mail add address, right? And here we will write our email addresses, right? So what we will do for that, right? So our email address will be here, so $_post and post of our email, right? So this field exactly should be like here, right? So this name is email, so this email is exactly like here, right? And here as also, right? Copy, I think email, right? So email, right? And you can put receiver's email it, receiver's name it here, right? So hello, you can put anything it here, and your user's name also you can put there, right? So what the next thing is, right? Next thing is the subject, right? So $mail, right? And mail is the subject, right? So call the property which is subject, and subject we will get this subject from it here, right? So the semicolon, and here we will type our subject from our HTML form. So name of our subject is subject, and this subject we will add it here, right? So subject we have added, right? So next thing is we want to send a message, right? So $mail, right, and call the mail as a body, right? So this will send HTML, whatever you will type it here, it will store, it will come it here, right? So for that, just copy and paste it here, and this just remove this subject and replace to msg, right? So let's copy, not a id, you need to copy this msg name, right? So let's paste it, right? But it will not send your html, right? So we need to activate a mail as a html, right? So mail is html, right? So is html is you need to true, right? Control S for save, right? So it's a pretty good thing. Let's do just call a final function which is mail, right? So dollar mm, mail, and call the mail function, right? Okay, call the send function which is this one, so it will return a true and false, right? So let's add a if and else condition it here. So if it is true, right? So if it is not true, right? So mailer will not able to send email, right? So it will show a error message. So echo we will show a error message, php mailer error, right? And mailer error, and call the function, call the property of mailer which is the error info, right? Error info. And if it is able to send email, we want to say so a message, right? Message send, message send, sen send, right? Control S for save, right? And let's test it. So let's type my password is here, right? Because without password it will not work. So let's go to in my previous project, right? So PHPMailer, and here is the index.php, and let's drop it here, and here is my previous password, right? So let's copy my password because we need a password to be here, right? So everything is fine, right? But when we run this project, right, so let's test it and what a thing and what error it occurs, right? So let's okay, let's refresh, and I'm typing the email address, and here is the subject, right, is here HERE, and here is the message, right? what we need in message, right? And let's send it. So it will able to send, I think, right? So it's refreshing, we need to wait, right? So it says a mailer error, right? Connect fail, PHPMailer, you need to check something like, right? So this type of mailer, why it's opening, right? And why it comes it here, right? I will give you a brief solution of these. So you need to type Google security, right? And let's click on sign in a security in my account, and you need to enable this, right? You need to, if you have a off, right, and you need to on, it means you can able to send your mail using PHPMailer, right? So it's a pretty good, right? So let's test it again, right? So let's refresh. I think it will at this time it will also give same error, right? Why it's giving me, because right, I want to give you a solution of this error, why I'm not able to connect, right? Because the before one, why this message is why I'm not able to connect SMTP, right? So that's only one solution. You need to run this script after 1 day, right? After 24 hours, right? It will work. So why it occurs, right? Why it comes? So because now this is my other SMTP script, right? And same username and ID, right? Which I have used in here and here as well, but the URL of the site has a different, right? So this URL will Google will take, right, for a security purpose and store in a cache, right? In a cache. So this cache will automatically remove after 24 hours, right? So due to that you will not to send email at the same time at the two project, right? So if you will take a difference of the time 24 hours, right? So it will work this one as well and this one as well, so it will work fine, right? So I will suggest you to try after 24 hours, it will also work. But if you are using a first time, right, so it will work fine, right? So let's try after 24 hours, right? So next thing we will make this attachment, right? Choose a file, right? So for choosing a file, we need to add some more functionality it here, right? So here is a file attachment, right? So one more thing, we need to call a method for attachment. So $mail and call the property which is attachment, right? Which is add attachment, and here is the path, right? We will give a path in a minute, right? So first we need to add any file, right? Whenever you will add any file it here, so this file we want to upload in our server, right? And then we will give a path to here, right? And this path will automatically send to your email address, right? Like this. So let's create. So upload path, upload file, we upload a dir directory, and here is the folder name, right? So attachment, right? So this will be create in our project, this folder, right? So what we will do that, just commit here, control shift N and paste up attachment it here. I think this is the previous project, right? Send mail is this one, right? Control shift N and attachment, right? So all the files which we upload from here, they will automatically come to this folder, right? So let's do these things, right? So the next thing, just semicolon, and the next thing is upload file, dollar upload file. You can give any name, right? So this is the upload directory, right? So let's copy this name and paste it here, put it a dot symbol for concatenation and base name, right? And here is the path of our name, path of our file. So dollar underscore file and file path, I will put it here. So let's one more parameter, this is the array and name, right? So here we will put our name from HTML file. So here is the input type file and name is attach me. So let's copy this name, right, and come here and paste it here, right? So that's pretty good, and semicolon. So what the next thing is, we need to call a function which is a move upload file, right? Move upload file, and it will take a two parameters, right? So first parameter is upload file, which is this, right? So just copy and paste it here, right? And here is your file name, right? So let's copy this same name, right, which we have typed it here. Just remove and paste it here and put it semicolon, right? And this will take a path and up your file name, so just remove, and this file we need to copy and paste it here, right? So it will work fine, right, for us. So all the things, I'm typing a comment, right? Sending email with, okay, for attachment, for attachment, right? So control S for save, right? So it's pretty much we have it done, right? We have forgot a thing, right? Which is this one, in a form section, which is here. We need to add attribute, which is the encryption type, right? So put it enc type, and enc type is multi-form, multi-part, multi-part form data, right? Let's test it again. Just type email, right? GAJNND, right? And here is the subject. Here is the subject, right? And let's type it here and choose a file, and let's send now. Okay, so now it's working fine, but it shows a error which is connect fail. Just try it. I will try after 24 hours it will work, because I have used the same script and same username and password, right? Same username and password at two different project at the same time, right? So I will try after 24 hours, right? So it will PHPMailer is working fine in my previous project, and this project which we have created now, it's not working. It shows this error, right? So likewise we want to add a message on this here, right, which is this one. So what we will do, that we want this PHPMailer connect message we wanted to here. So what we will do for that, right? So let's select from here, right, to here, right? So right, and let's this one we want to paste it here, right? So let's PHP tag, and PHP tag should be closed, and paste it here, right? So when we refresh, so this error message looks like here, right? Okay, right, it's a fine, right? And you can attach any file, you can attach, you can do anything. The script is perfect, right? I will give you a working I will give you a link to download my code, right? So don't worry about that, right? So if you like this, please subscribe my channel, and bye, take care.